Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are live in Birmingham. The Wider Mackay Premier League Darts, brought to you by the PDC, the Premiership of World Darts, and live on Sky Sports. You're joining us for the very best in darts action. Well, it's time to meet the players. Would you firstly please welcome the pride of Ledbury, Herefordshire. He's known as the Raging Bull, Terry Jenkins.
Save your energy, Terry. You're in for a busy night tonight. He will be busy because he's taking on a man who beat him in major finals in Blackpool and Dublin.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. It's time to meet the machine, James Wade.
Last time these two met, it was Wade who won 8-6. Will it be a repeat tonight, or will Jenkins get revenge as he limbers up for Phil Taylor in the last match of the evening? Your commentators, Rod Harrington and Nigel Pearson.
Cheers, Dave. We're in the second city, but it's first-rate darts tonight, without any shadow of a doubt. Terry Jenkins and James Wade do battle in the Premier League. There is Terry Jenkins from down the road in Herefordshire. Ledbury is where he's from, and the Bull with a tall order tonight, the first of two games. He's up against Phil the Power Taylor later, and now he's up against this man, James Wade. So unusual to have two games in one night, of course. Wade, who was beaten by Taylor last week, but is still in a decent position, third place in the Premier League going into tonight's action. So we are going to be left with a league table where Adrian Lewis will have a couple of games in hand, and we wish Adrian all the best, of course, in his recovery from the illness that has prevented him from being here tonight. But for Terry Jenkins, in for a penny, in for a pound, Rodders. You're up against James Wade and Phil Taylor in one night, the two best players in the world, and well, it's a tall order to say the least.
To say the least, Nige. This guy here, Terry Jenkins, he's got the game to beat them both, but just lately he hasn't really been firing on all cylinders. But Terry Jenkins, it could be a right disaster tonight, or he could end up with a good result, because getting Phil Taylor out of the way before the end of the season, you know, can be an advantage to him, because if he's looking at 1 or 2 points last 1 or 2 games and you haven't got to play Taylor, then that's going to be a plus.
Taylor back to his best, no doubt about that. Still top of the bill. Even when he wasn't at his best, he was still the man that everybody wanted to see. But there's a new generation of darts players making the breakthrough, and this man, James Wade, a sensational 2007, and no surprise that he was the PDC Player of the Year at the awards night.
He had a great year last year, World Match Play champion, World Grand Prix champion. And Terry Jenkins cannot let Wade get in front of him. This is a guy that really power scores 140s. We see Jenkins release, a little bit of movement in the head, but pretty solid. Got to keep that head still, keep the stance still, just let the elbow do all the work on the release.
The unmistakable throw of the machine. Not happy, Jenkins. Big trouble with his last throw there. He's a perfectionist, but all the boys are. They know they have to hit top gear in the Premier League week after week after week. It's relentless, and if you are just a little bit off top form, it's unforgiving. Jenkins with a chance early on. Tall order. Wade will be looking to break the throw on this visit, Rod Harrington.
Yeah, Jenkins needed to hit a treble to put the pressure on. Maybe looking at the bullseye 25. 2 for double top to take the first leg against the throw. Big impact. That's a great. That was dead centre, Nigel. I mean, when you hit that first dart dead centre, it puts you on a high straight away. And now Terry Jenkins is really up against the wall, you know, in the first leg.
A break of the throw against Jenks, and look at this from Wade as well. Oh, so close. A ton 40 it is. But you know, the point is here, this man, the Bull, has got 2 matches tonight against Wade and against Taylor, and he's conceded a leg already in the early stages. That is the worst possible start. It'd be bad enough with just 1 match, but when you're facing the power later as well, Jenks needs to keep his head, stay cool, and just try and keep himself together for the rest of the night.
Well, what he's got to do is got to forget about that he's playing Taylor later on, even in the practice room. It's take this game. What he's got to do, Terry, because he's not been playing at the top of his game for the last 3 weeks, had a real brilliant run before then, but it's been letting games go. You've got to play 1 leg at a time. Don't worry about the end of the match. Get up there, right, I'm going to power score, I'm going to take the double out, and just try and concentrate on that single leg. Then you can get something back. But he's going to go 2-0 down here to James Wade, and really, I mean, he can see his darts there, Nigel. They're not really tight. For a professional dart player, you know, a ½ inch away is a wide, really.
He's going to go for the treble 20 there, but he will return. James Wade, just 2 defeats in 8 so far. A couple of draws as well. The amount of draws in the White Mackay Premier League so far have been unprecedented, and you can see Jenkins is well off form as Wade steps up for double top. Width of the wire, goes for 10s now for 2-0. James Wade in clinical form, 2-0 ahead. And dare I say it early on, it could be a long, long night for this man.
Could certainly be a long night. He cannot afford to lose this leg. There's his supporters. He needs to be really bullish in this leg, does Jenkins, because you know Wade is not going to let up. He's a great player, a solid player. You know he's going to go up there and hit ton after ton when he's warmed up, and then he starts scoring them 140s, and then, boy, you are in trouble. And Jenkins, you can see again, Nigel, not really comfortable with them first darts.
He's forcing the darts through. He's struggling with the trebles early on. But James Wade, Rod, will grind you down. When you're down, you're down, but this man will kick you when you're down.
Yeah, he'll certainly do that. He really is a solid player. And you can see there from Jenkins again, you know, drifting into the 5s. A month ago, that wouldn't have happened. That would have been at least a 140. And you know James Wade's going to put at least 1 more in there. Is he's going to stay there? That dart looks a little bit loose, but he's staying there. And you knew after that first dart that it was going to be a full house.
First 180 of the game. That's what it's all about. That's what this big crowd have come to see. A big 180 from James Wade. And he is playing like a machine. Like his nickname suggests, he is like a machine. He's going through the motions in a positive way and heaping pressure with 2 big treble 20s there on this man, Terry Jenkins.
Well, one of the top shots out, 160, but Jenkins ain't got nowhere near it. Wade again, his favourite double top for 3-0, and a second breaker throw, and he didn't miss it. 2 breaks down is Jenkins.